The trouble and getting things off the ground, and BMW I think has been great, and I'm sure there are other contributors who I don't know about, and I think the most important are what's been emphasized all along, the youth. I mean, this is about youth. I mean, I'm an old crony going off the end of the thing. You, the people that are going to be living in this new world, to be able to make things happen. You know what's going on in this society. I'd like to make a comment about BMW. I hope that our students will be able to enable students not to have to look at their email while they're driving, but will be able to read it out for them so they don't have accidents. Or maybe the BMW cars will drive for them. I'd also like to make a slight correction about Shoshone TUT. We do have one faculty per campus, but there happen to be two faculties on Shoshone, but that's a minor issue. I want to have a theme for my talk, and it's going to be, you have this Vodacom, we've been doing it. But I would like to have the theme slightly differently. RICOP's been showing us how to do it. And I think they have been showing us how to do it. I mean, we've had the story about people always have grand ideas about what they're going to do. And I see the fact that RICOP has started, put their foot forward. And I think this is the message we have to get across. If we in South Africa are going to address poverty, we have a serious issue with poverty. Often we worry about racism and things like that. That is a serious problem. But I think we won't get around it until we manage to get around poverty. And this is the kind of initiative that's going to allow us to do it. I mean, I think BE is not black empowerment, but it's white male empowerment, because you're forcing the white males to go and do something, to stand on their own feet. And I think we often see the richer people doing it. So I think what we've got to do is we've got to find ways in which we can enable our youth to become rich. And being an entrepreneur is by far the most effective way of making money. Rich, big companies don't generally generate a lot of money or a lot of jobs. They have investors who are wealthy, who want to make money. They're not really that interested in making money for the people further down the line. So I think these are the kinds of initiatives we're looking at. So I would like to see us see these initiatives developing further and addressing how can we make everybody a lot better off, because then I think the racial issues, the serious issues of discrimination, all the rest of it will disappear. I hope I'm not being too idealistic. So how are we going to address it? That's where I think RICOP is showing us. What do we need to bridge this gap of enabling people to generate and increase more money? I think skills development is one of the core issues that are being raised by them. I think the issue is, in order to succeed, you have to have confidence in yourself. I think BMW also raised that issue. Estelana raised that issue. I think it's an important issue to believe in yourself, to realize you can do things. I mean, other parts of the world, what's different from us? We're no different from anywhere else. Why do people? Because they believe in themselves and have confidence. And I think this program is about doing that. It's about trying to help you get some workplace experience and see that you are capable of that the students are capable of doing things. I think the other issue is learning to take responsibility, and I think this is again where RICOP is showing us, is by showing they have the confidence to set up a program like this, that they believe in the youth, to me is taking responsibility. I think starting a company, it's a risky business. I mean, most companies, you have a lot of failure, but as a young person, you can't lose anything. They can't take nothing away from you if you don't succeed, and then you can try again. The best time to do it is once, as early in your life. Once you have a motor car, you're married, you've got all sorts of responsibilities, it becomes very difficult for those people. So this is the ideal time to catch youth up. I think Mark Shuttleworth makes a big issue of it. I think Branson, a number of successful people have said the best issue is to start young, to take your chances, take your risk, you can't lose much. You can learn a lot. You learn by your mistakes. If you're going to start something and fail, that's going to be great. What else do I want to say about it? I think networks and engagement. There again, I think Rycop is showing us. Let me tell you about a story I had with Richard. We were standing in front of the tax office and we were waiting there, and we started a casual discussion, and we started discovering we had things in common. And I think that's what networks, it led to more important things. It led to something that I was desperate about. I was desperate that our students aren't finding opportunities. He was starting this initiative. There's common grounds by meeting and talking to people, and it's not to say I think the issue about people wanting sponsorship, I think the issue is you must be going and saying, what can I do for you, rather than what will you do for me? And I think this is where a valuable relationship developed, is by talking and discussing and listening to the other person and finding out how we can benefit from one another. I also had another story of one of the senior directors of Microsoft. He must probably moved off from there in South Africa, and basically he was talking about how valuable it was doing all these courses. But when I started to question him, what was the value of going to a business place or something else? It was to make the contacts, to meet people that are going to help you. That's where one learns a lot. And I think Rycop is showing that. They're developing lots of partnerships. They're showing us how to do that by showing that issues. The other issue that's example that I had, Mark Shuttleworth was one to talk. We want to do things just a little bit better than everybody else. Mike Shuttleworth started with all that. He'll tell you his great success isn't with the most fantastic, innovative product. It was by looking at how he could do what he was doing a little bit better. Okay, he was fortunate with time and all the rest of it, but I think a lot of companies start off with doing things a little bit better. For example, I don't think Microsoft does a marvelous job. I don't think they have the marvelous products, but they're doing things better. They're better salespeople. They're making sure that they provide a good product. So I think that's an important important point. I think start something again. I think Rycop is showing us breaking down barriers. We need to break down barriers. I think, and now I'm trying to remember what my notes say. I think there are, for example, what I find again, with showing again my relationship with Rycop. I feel, there's a big gap maybe in our social, our experience and all the rest of it. But again, Rycop shows by goodwill, how we can actually work together. You can work together with people with very different values, very different skills. And I'm afraid in the South African environment, there are big gaps. We've got a wealthy white middle class or upper class who has a completely different value system. And we have to find ways in order to bridge that kind of gap. It's a different culture to what a large percentage of our population has. How do we bridge that gap? And I think one bridges that gap by showing goodwill. And I think that is also an area where Rycop has shown a lot, is they've got enormous attitude of goodwill and enthusiasm. And I think I compliment them. I compliment them on their approach. And the issue of being able to attract sponsors and to get a number of people together is great. So I wish you all the best with your initiative, and I hope it goes well. And I'm glad to be part of it. And I hope the partnership between BMW, TUT, and Rycop grows. Thank you.
Can we give the Prof one more time a lively round of applause? I think you would agree with me, ladies and gentlemen, especially fellow young people, students. I'm only 29.